as I say every single Monday morning, especially this one, it is a vibe. Welcome back, nerds. It's me, your buddy, your pal, Hey Archer. Welcome back to Nerdy Coffee here on Nerd Affiliated. I am late. I am sorry, but it's for good reason. I was out doing a walk. I'm trying to do like outdoor morning cardio, like at least 4 times a week. So that's why I'm late. I'm sorry, but I had to do it. Well, you're here. You don't care about that. You're here for our Monday morning support group where we sit back, relax, talk about last week's news, releases, all that fun stuff. There wasn't really too much that came out last week, but there's still things to talk about. Today, our good friend Josh, Senor Renta, is in the stream. He's also in the chat. He's joining us to just shoot the shit, shoot the breeze. We'll cover box office recap, nerd news, and I think the only upcoming release is Fast 10. So there you go. That segment's done. But of course, if there's anything you want to talk about, put it in the chat. If you got YouTube channel, podcasts, a blog, a vlog, an OnlyFans, a newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, support one another, plug yo shits. And he's not on stream. Hobbies with Jose, merch by him. Check him out. Dope creator. Lots of dope creators are in the chat. I see you guys already popping up in there. If you want to support our channel, of course, there's the memberships up above. You can hit a like down below, subscribe, of course, or just chat. Just jump in the comments, chat with us. It's weird. I'm trying to use the buttons with sneakers on. I'm not used to that feel. But, ladies and gentlemen, today we have our buddy. Am I hitting it? There it is. I think I got it. Our buddy, our pal, Senor Josh. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, good morning.
There it
Doing
is.
well.
The audio works.
The audio's working. It's weird. The video is clear on my tablet, but on my phone it's like blurry. I'm assuming it's the Wi-Fi.
It's so weird because it's like you're using one of those. What's the kind of phone you're using again? I can't think of it. Not an iPhone. That's what it is.
I think the problem is your Apple phone just can't communicate with the world properly like Android does.
That's what it is. Any of you who don't know, that's an ongoing joke between Josh and literally everybody in his life. I would say everybody.
Let's see if it improves if I turn off the Wi-Fi on my tablet.
There you go. But as I mentioned at the top, sorry I'm late. But Josh was nice enough to, of course, let us know. He was in the comments early. He was on time to let you guys know I was running behind. Patrick in the house. Good to see you. Know your craft. He's on his civilian account. He saw Guardians. So yeah, we'll definitely talk. Have you seen Guardians at all?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so I want your thought on that.
I've seen the trailer, but last one I saw was the first one, which I believe I fell asleep in that partly.
Makes sense, yeah.
as usual.
As usual. General Kenobi in the house. Good to see you, brother. Yukon Phil in the house. Yukon had an awesome episode last night of Yakking with Yukon, so everybody make sure you take a watch for that. And Salvatore in the house. Senor Sal. Good to see you all. Nice. All right, so what we'll do is we'll do box office recap first because it involves Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'll get your thoughts on all that fun stuff. Oh, I forgot to do this one screen, but that's fine. We're going to roll with the punches. So, as I mentioned, box office recap coming up first. So, let me do one, and then I have to switch to this, switch to this, switch to this. There you go. You're kind of off center. If you can scoot over. There you go. Only in this screen are you off center.
Oh, it's because of the that's weird.
That's all right. There you go. Now you're back. So, Guardians of the Galaxy, the big surprise win of last week, the week prior, and it still won last week, pulling in $60.5 million on the weekend, and just going into its actual breakdown. It's about to hit 500 million worldwide. Now, week over week, of course, it had a drop. But to you, sir, you are the casual nerd in the group. Do you have any desire to go out and see Guardians of the Galaxy? And you already mentioned you didn't even see the second one, but you've seen Endgame, you've seen Infinity War. So even with that being established, is this something that you have any desire to see?
Probably not in the movie theaters. I did see the Christmas special.
Wow.
I was kind of hoping the kids would be interested in it, and they kind of found it funny a little bit, but not enough to like hook them.
Yeah.
So I think I'll just wait for video, assuming I even attempt to click the button and hit play.
You know, the funny thing with that, the reason I like having you on too, is because you are not only the casual watcher, which you are technically target audience for most things, but you've got kids who are also technically the target audience for most things. And Anthony and I were talking about when we saw this movie, there were a couple parts where I'm like, I don't think this is a kid's movie. Like, even though, you know, Rocket's in it and Rocket's all cute and the dog's in it, Cosmo, I was like, I don't know if I would take a kid to see this. But are your kids into any Marvel like movies at all at the moment, or are they just, it's not even on their radar?
My son likes the Spidey kids a little bit. I haven't shown him anything like any of the actual action movies. I think they'd be a little too graphic, and I'd say my son's a little sensitive. He's not strong yet for those movies, for anything action, or he gets afraid of characters. So,
well, how old's your son?
He's 4.5.
There you go. I think that's fair, because even
we went to the baseball game yesterday, and he's afraid of the Fairy Hawk character, the big bird they have. So just to put it in perspective.
Well, I think that kids a lot of times have a problem with costumes, because they're like, I know you're supposed to be a person because you're talking to me, but you look like one of my toys, and I'm always bigger than my toys, but now you're bigger than me. So I think they usually struggle with that. But Ninja Turtles, I remember that. I mean, I was 5 at that point, so he's almost there. And I remember even Turtles was kind of like a little jolting to me, but eventually, you know, became my favorite movie. So I can understand it. Actually, yeah, you were 5 too when that came out.
Yeah, I wanted to like all this stuff, but I'm like, I guess it's just not there yet. Even like Disney World, talking about like going there, and like, I don't think he could handle the characters, and I mean, I'm sure he'd enjoy a ride,
right?
But I think more like my daughter, who's 7 now, she would certainly appreciate it a little bit more, and she's not into Marvel or any of this crap.
That's fair. That's fair. So continuing on, kind of, to me, this is news. And Patrick, you know, he made the comment there. There were a few kids last night, and I know their parents were probably surprised by the language. Yeah, the language, some of the themes, I was like, I don't know, kind of teeters a line. Kenobi says his 6-year-old did surprisingly well with Guardians. All right. What was any of that for you, for both of you two in the comments? Was any of that surprising, or did you know it going in? Just curious there. But looking at the year to date, I am rather shocked at, one, Guardians is already at 4th place. So that's one surprise. Number 2 surprise, Chris Pratt has 2 movies in top 5 of the year to date. I would have thought going into this year that would have been Jonathan Majors, who was the bad guy in Ant-Man, the villain in Creed 3. I thought he'd be the one with 2 top 5s, but Creed did not break the top 5. But also Super Mario still holding 1st place on the year, 535 domestically. Did you and your kids see Super Mario, and yes, or was that on their radar?
Yeah, we did. We actually all went as a family, which was I think the first, maybe second time we've taken them to the movies all together.
Yep.
Um, my daughter didn't mind it. My son was a little scared at some parts with Bowser,
Mm.
like the fire and stuff that's kind of dark.
Right.
But the colors, obviously, once those colors pop, the mushroom world and all that,
Mm.
um, they weren't in love with it, but
But it was
it was all right.
passable. Yeah. So
I,
it's
I
not.
wasn't even like in love with it, but I mean, just for the nostalgia.
Mm-hmm. So it's not one of those where they went home and they were like, "Oh, I got to play Mario now," or teach me more about Mario, or nothing like that.
No, I haven't even, we haven't even introduced them to video games yet.
Oh wow.
I was contemplating kind of fast tracking them on
Mm-hmm.
going through the generations of game systems
Mm-hmm.
because I have the original Nintendo
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. That's right. Yeah.
and it still
There you
takes a few times to clean the cartridge, but you know,
go. But it gets there.
yeah. And I got everything: Sega, Game Boy, um, PlayStation, Xbox. That I acquired through my brother.
Nice. Yeah. I wish I
Fast
still had a
tracking
lot of
before
that
they
stuff.
get to the real stuff.
Yeah. I think the only one I wish I kept was my Dreamcast. I wish I still had my Sega Dreamcast, but I don't even know what I did with it. Well, I'm gonna assume I sold it because I used to sell all my stuff at like Funko Land, and eventually that turned into GameStop and all that. But
Yeah,
Patrick says I think I'm numb to it because for some reason it felt normal. Completely forgot this was a Disney movie and felt it was a gun movie only. That's fair. I think in this movie it very much reminded me of Peacemaker as far as like one, a lot of the same actors and actresses are in it, but two, the violence, the jokes, it this seemed very PG-13 to me versus like a kids
right.
movie, which is what I think they wanted to make, but who knows. Um, but we'll move on to some nerd news. Wasn't a crazy amount of things this week, but some cool things. First thing I want to say, actually, speaking of Peacemaker, I'm standing in my mall. I'm at the entrance of my store on Saturday, and the freaking T1000 walks by me. Freaking Robert Patrick himself. And I got to say, dude looks intimidating. I was very surprised by that.
Just to preface that, when you sent me the notes, I see Robert Patrick, and I'm like, just to show my casualness, I'm like, who the hell is that? and
Honestly,
then, and
I
I was
forgot
like,
his,
oh,
I forgot his
obviously,
name too. I mean, if he would have walked up to me,
yeah,
like I mean, and the thing is like he's walking by, and I'm really good at that. Like if a celebrity's going by me, like I spot him pretty easy. And he's walking by me, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, when I wave to him, and he waves. He's like beelining it. He's going somewhere. And
yeah.
but if he would have walked up to me, I wouldn't have remembered his like real name. I would have been like, oh shit, like freaking Peacemaker's dad, Terminator, like
To me,
gambling addict,
he,
Sopranos.
to me, I mean, obviously, he's much older now than when
Yeah.
Terminator came out, but like, it just almost seems like two different people completely. Like,
Oh, for sure.
when you look at him young and now, it's just like, I mean, obviously, he's aged, but
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting when you see it. I've seen him in movies, and I never even realized that. Oh, this is T1000.
Yes. Yeah. So what's really
I,
cool with him is he early on he does the and this was from his interview on the Inside of You podcast, if I remember correctly. He does Terminator. He tries to get other roles, and everybody just sees him as Terminator. He does Wayne's World. He plays the cop in Wayne's World or Wayne's World 2. I can't remember which one.
oh yeah, yep.
Playing essentially the Terminator. And then he's like, you know what? He's like, I got to change my look because right now I'm going to get stuck. And that's when he decides he's going to like gain weight, not be as like athletic looking. And that's what actually helped him break out of that early on. And it's probably why people don't recognize him, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was, like I said, he was, I was telling the group chat, I was like, he's older than I mean, not older, he's taller than I thought. He was at least like looking like a 6'2" biker. He just had on like black
Right.
jeans, a black Carhartt button down shirt, like his hair's spiked up, tatted up. I'm like, oh damn, this guy's a freaking
Nice.
guy's a biker in real life.
I didn't realize he was 1923
That he was what?
in the movie 19 or the TV show 1923, the Yellowstone series.
Oh really? He's on that? I didn't even know that.
I had no idea. I was just looking up things that he was in, and he was a cast member. I don't think it was a big role, but
Yeah. He's also
again,
in
I have no idea.
he's in Tombstone, I believe. I feel like Tombstone
Really?
with Val Kilmer, right? Am I? Hang on, let me pull that up.
No, I don't think he was in that.
Let's see.
Could be though.
Let's take a look. Because I feel like Tombstone is that kind of movie that if you're playing like the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, you can like somehow get to Tombstone and complete your board. Jason Presley's in it too. I don't even remember that. Yeah, so Michael Rourke's in it. Maybe I'm just confusing. I'm remembering that Michael Rourke's in it and thinking that he was in it too. Yeah, I guess he's not.
Yeah, I don't think he was in that.
But this is like every like action guy of the 80s and 90s that's not on steroids.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah, Bill Paxton, Stephen Lang before he was like popping from Avatar, he's in it. The number one piece of shit, Billy Zane. Not really. I hate
Forgot
Billy
about
Zane.
that.
I hate Billy Zane, but not even because he did anything. It's just he always plays like a piece of shit in movies.
Yeah, he was in. He's the one that was in Titanic, right? He was the.
Yeah. He's the bad guy with Titanic. Yeah.
That guy. Yeah.
This dude from Sex and the City, Aiden, and then Terry O'Quinn. I always remember him as the dude in The Rocketeer. I think he plays the scientist, right? That makes it up. Let's see. Or am I making that up? He's not in The Rocketeer. I thought he was in The Rocketeer. Oh yeah, he plays Howard Hughes. That's what it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Always remember him from that. I used to love that movie. That movie's
That
so
movie's
good.
great. I still watch that whenever I can.
Yeah. And
I
then
had a figure. Had the figure from that. Might still have it somewhere.
They re-released that figure too, and it comes in a VHS. One of the smart things going on right now, I think, in collecting, is when companies are trying to hit nostalgia, but like in two different ways. They have the Rocketeer, the Crow, and now they have miniature Disney princesses that are essentially like re-releases of the original figures, but they come in a VHS box. Remember those white VHS boxes that like the Disney movies came in?
I have DuckTales.
There you go.
Treasure hidden lamp, I think.
Uh-huh.
I have it somewhere. I gotta find that. Put that in my little nostalgia closet.
Yeah. But no, so now the figures will come in that like case. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's such a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
But no, this scene goes hard when he runs up to the top of the tower and they're like,
oh yeah.
And the guy's like, go get her. And he puts the helmet on and just and shoots up like.
Yeah, that movie was like amazing. That was what, 93, 92?
I would say so.
Somewhere
91.
I feel like, and now
close.
Oh wow, 91. So I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in perspective, like, because I'm just trying to relate my childhood to my kids now who are 7 and 4, and I'm trying to think like what they watch now. Like they're not even big into movies like that much. It's Netflix, YouTube stuff, and I try to keep them off of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that minimal. But they're, I don't know. I think my son definitely would probably be more intrigued than my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's
hopefully.
That really does seem to be the norm now. Like a lot of people are really finding it hard to get their kids to like keep an attention span on like one thing. Like the kids like on the iPad playing this game, but then also doing this other thing and then running over here. But even as adults, we're having that issue too, where it's like, I can't sit down and watch, like, if I'm watching a TV show or a movie, like I'm doing something else at the same time. It's just not.
I got 3 devices on.
Yeah, exactly.
TV, tablet, and trying to do so much multitasking, and it's just like, I mean, there's so much you can get done, but your attention span's not there. You're not fully invested.
Exactly. And I think that's going to be the challenge. Like in another 20 years, like, do movies exist as they do now? Because like, you know, asking somebody to, again, I think theaters are on a freaking doomsday clock. Like that's gonna go away. I say that every week, I think, but you know, even just a conventional TV movie, like you may just have to do shows or movies are like an hour. Because I think that's really pushing the line.
It's hard to allot time because my wife actually just went to the movies last night to Alamo Draft House to see the book club, and it was just a chick movie where she's in the book club herself actually with her girlfriends. So they went to go see it, and they said it was like a cute movie, and they went and they saw it, had a good time, but that took up that was like 5:30, 6. She was gone for a few hours, so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It worked out. It was a weekend though, so I'm off weekends now, so she can do that.
But I mean, that's complaint number 1 for me is the time suck of going to a movie. Like it's at least 4 hours of your day.
What's crazy is like, I mean, matinees typically start what, 11?
I don't even have that anymore up here. They start at like 1 or 2 up here now.
Oh really?
Yeah,
because I would be inclined, like while my kids are in school, like today, I got to pick them up at 2. A movie at 11, it just gets too close to the wire. If there is anything at 11, 11:30, I'm almost like, if there was a movie at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. in the morning, I might actually would probably go.
Yeah,
I mean, you wouldn't probably fill a movie house, but
that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem they run into. Is they like, one of my friends used to work in a movie theater, and he's like, from the jump when I first started talking to him, he was like, "Oh yeah, movies that start at like 10 or 11, that's a waste." He's like, the amount of times we would show up, turn the movie on, and then have to shut down the theater because nobody's in it. Like it just too frequent. But before we continue on the movie train, I want to hit one other nerd news topic to see if you even watched this show. So Superman and Lois, probably a top, I would say, I can't say top 5, but I would say one of the top 3 CW shows. I don't count Stargirl as CW because that was like primarily streaming at first. But, when I think CW, good superhero shows, I say Arrow. And then I think that's where I think everybody agrees on Arrow, but then it gets dicey. Some people will say Flash. Some people say Smallville. I definitely have Superman and Lois up there. But apparently Superman and Lois is rumored to have been canceled. Now, right here, Google off the jump is saying it's not canceled, but it's also not renewed. So that's just making a lot of us think it is going to eventually get canceled. As, again, our casual nerd of the group, did you ever watch Superman and Lois, or do you watch any CW?
Didn't even know it existed. Didn't even know it existed. I was looking up Superman stuff when you sent me the notes, and I was looking at movies because I knew the Henry Cavill thing was canceled. Then I was like,
right.
So I saw there's new movies coming out. So I'm like, well, these aren't canceled. They're in the works.
Yeah.
I think Superman Solar, something like that, and Legacy.
Yeah, Legacy or something. Yep.
But I didn't even realize there was a TV show. Network TV. I don't watch that. I just watch hockey right now. That's about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Superman Legacy is the upcoming. But yeah, no, it's and same thing. Like you could, with your time, it's like I could do these 5 other things, or sit down and watch this superhero show. And there's so many bad ones that I think, especially being on CW, I think it just pulls the show down.
Yeah. I feel like something like that nowadays, it sucks to say that network's going down, but just go to a streaming service.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
who has DC? Is it HBO?
Yeah, HBO Max.
Yeah.
Give it a watch. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to sit down and marathon 3 seasons of it, but
yeah,
I think if you put on like the first 2-3 episodes, it could be a show that like if you're doing random things and you need some background noise, you could throw it on and it'd be enjoyable.
All right.
Yeah.
Put on the list.
Yeah.
Staying on topic of movies, I did look at the trailer for the new Fast and Furious X.
There you go. That's what we're going to talk about next. What'd you think?
I will say, I haven't. The last one I watched was when Letty. She didn't remember who Vince was.
Wow, you're like
which one is that? Yeah, it's pretty far back. I just gave up because it's it's obviously the same old thing.
Yeah.
But I did notice that The Rock is not in this one.
Correct.
Which and then when I saw Jason Statham, which I forgot that he was in, I guess the last one or last two, maybe.
No, dude. It's sad. It's sad, but understandable. You are so far off because they are so many, and they are all the same shit. Like,
actually, was he in the one was Statham in the one when Letty was captured and didn't remember?
So right now, I pulled up the movie list, and it's more than 10. But,
I'm just looking at my tablet here.
So Letty comes back in Fast and Furious. This is the one where Dom is like out. She gets killed, and then Dom comes back and wants to find out who killed her. So that's Fast and Furious, I think. Pretty sure. So that's probably where you stop.
The second remake, or it wasn't even a remake, right? Reset.
Fast 5. Oh wait, did my audio switch out again? Okay, you're back. Yeah, my audio switched. Fast 5, I think, is the first one with The Rock. I want to say.
Yeah, I know he was in a few.
Yeah, Rock is not in Fast and Furious. So Fast 5 is the first one with The Rock. So you dropped off around the same time I did in that Fast and Furious and then Fast 5 span, somewhere in there.
What year was that one?
2009.
Fast 5.
Oh, okay. Fast 5 is 2011.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's about that time where started losing interest in just in movies in general.
Yeah. So, what I wanted to talk about was what Anthony brought up, that Vin Diesel, bless his heart, he's making all the money on this. So like half the time I can't even blame him. But like, God damn, dude, he wants to make this last movie is like a part 1 of who knows how many. so like, is this something you have even any interest in going to see? Like, even though you've seen none of these other ones, are you like, you know what, I got to see how this whole thing ends, or are you all set?
I could probably go either way. I will say when I was watching the trailer, for some reason I was more interested in it than I usually am.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to see it for the action,
right?
And like, I mean, I like Jason Statham. He's just good in everything. He's funny. He's what you get. And when I didn't see that The Rock, when he wasn't in, I was like, all right, cool, because I'm kind of over The Rock.
Yeah.
Most things.
You know what? Sorry, I'll address that for you. So The Rock comes in here around Fast 5, and then in Fast 6, this is where I need Lenny here. Lenny loves these movies. So does Amanda. Oh no, because The Rock's in this picture here for Fast 7. So Jason Statham is introduced in either one of these two, 6 or 7, and he kills the Asian. This is gonna sound stupid. He kills the Asian guy from Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we got to stop this dude. Then it turns out that was a psych out or fake out, Jason Statham turns into like somewhat of a good guy and has to work alongside The Rock in Fast 8. Yeah, I think it's Fast 8 at that point. And then The Rock is like, I'm bigger than this movie. And Vin Diesel's like, no, you're not. And he's like, yes, I am. They have their little beef. And then The Rock does the spin-off movie, Hobbs and Shaw, where he recruits Jason Statham to help him do a mission. That's not even on this list, which is kind of crazy.
So he did Hobbs and Shaw. So that's part of the Fast and Furious series?
Technically, but they don't have it on the list here because I think Vin Diesel's kind of like, go kick rocks. No pun.
Because it's weird when you list it. Like, I was looking it up before, Hobbs and Shaw, and it shows Hobbs and Shaw, and then underneath it, it shows Fast and Furious 2019. So I don't know if that was just a glitch or something.
Because they're the same characters. Like, they're the same characters from in the franchise. So it technically is part of the franchise. But nobody else
stars are big enough where they pull away from Vin Diesel.
Yeah. But what's crazy is the movie actually did well. Like, the movie did well, but I think either The Rock couldn't maintain ownership of it, and then he's out, or Vin is like, no, I'm not giving you another one. I don't know what it is. But they were butting heads. And that's where, like you were saying before, I'm over The Rock. Like, I'm sick of his shit. But he bails, and then you go into Fast 9, and Statham's not there, but literally everybody else shows up. And Fast 9's the one where they go into space, which is its own thing.
Yeah, that alone is why I definitely didn't see that.
Yeah. But Fast 10, and Fast 9 is also the introduction of John Cena. He comes in that one.
I saw that caught my eye. I was like, oh, cool, John Cena's doing something.
Yeah. Yeah, he plays Dom's brother, Vin Diesel's brother.
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to see it. We'll see if it's like if it's not, the kids are in bed early and I got some time, maybe I'll go to the movies.
Yeah.
Depends on how long the movie is.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what it is? I think what Fast and Furious does well is it knows what it is. And much like a Slayer album, it's going to sound just like the previous album. And then I can play you 5 Slayer songs from 5 different albums and you'd swear they're all the same album. When it comes to Fast and Furious, they keep upping the craziness, but it's still on brand, and they're also aware. And in Fast 9, I think the best part about that movie is they outwardly make comments being self-aware as to how crazy this shit is. Like at one point they're like, Tyrese's character, he's like, I just freaking wrecked my car, rolled it down a mountain, and I have no scratches on me. Like, what the fuck is this? So I like that part of the breaking third wall. But
that's cool. It's definitely important to be self-aware, know your brand, because once you go off, it's done.
Yeah, once you think you're too cool for school, you can really screw it
up. Another movie you could probably compare to that as a franchise, not as many as Fast and Furious, but like the Toy Story movies. I'd say all of them, all pretty good. 1 through 4. I think it's 4.
I think it's 4. But is the last one the one where people are kind of like, I wish that one didn't happen because you had a good ending?
It was sad. I like watching. I was like, oh no. Because it just it took me back to, like, remember watching the first one with like my brother and all. And granted, at the time I was still I thought I was too old for it. But there's still a kid in me, and I was enjoying it just as much as my brother did. He was like, he loved Toy Story. But we'll go all the way through, and it was still very good.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm much like you. I think I'm gonna wait till it's at home. I think the next theater experience for me is gonna just be the Batman or the Flash movie, and that's only because I don't want things spoiled for me in advance. That's about it.
I think you need to just go to a cleaner theater.
Without sticky floors and sticky seats. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is there an Alamo Draft House by you?
No, but there's definitely like I can go to like an IMAX theater, and There's definitely cleaner theaters in my vicinity, but it's like I said at the top, it's the time suck. Like I'm paying money to go waste 4 hours. Or sorry, I'm wasting 2 hours to then go sit down for a 2.5 hour movie, of which case in the movie they take up half an hour to give me trailers, which I also think is outdated. We have the internet. Like I don't need movie trailers in my movie anymore. Like I have a computer.
That annoyed me when we went to Super Mario. There was so many trailers, and just to get the kids to pay attention, I'm like, and I used to love watching trailers. Like, cool, coming out. That was the only way to find out.
Yeah.
But now, I don't mind if they do 2.
Mm-hmm.
Just limit to 2.
Yeah.
But other than that,
you give me
time is money.
I clocked it. It was half an hour. I had half an hour of trailers when I went to go see Guardians.
Because honestly, they could make for the theater itself, you could probably get another movie show going.
Yeah, by the time
you take out you could certainly make way more money just putting new stuff out or another time slot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Cool. Well, I have to wrap to go to work. Any other comments before we call an episode?
No, nothing right now. Just enjoying the beautiful weather out right now.
There you go. Oh,
time to go to Home Depot.
I picked up something that's along the lines of your collecting habits. I got myself the animated series Batmobile.
Oh, nice.
From Hot Wheels.
Oh, sweet. I gotta look at it on my tablet. For some reason, it's much clearer on there than my phone.
I'll get it closer here. Let's see
no, that's good.
Yeah. I don't.
Nice.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't remember if I had it. No, I have the 89, the movie Batmobile. So I needed this one.
Right.
But because you love the Hot Toys and all that, so I was like, oh, I got to show you, because I get some as well from time to time.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. All right, ladies and gents, nerds and blurs, that's an episode. Again, sorry I was late. I got to better time manage my outdoor walking into doing the show. But I promise next week I'll try to be more prompt. 9 a.m. start, maybe 9:05. Who are we kidding? Nerdy Coffee every Monday morning here on Nerd Affiliated. Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. Hey Archer Live, the show where we really just shoot the shit for over an hour and a half sometimes, it seems like. But let us know in the comments what you're looking forward to. Are you sad about Superman and Lois? Are you sad about the Fast and Furious having like 3 more movies within one movie? And the one thing we did not talk about, I want to know your answer here. Your top 3 Marvel trilogies. 1 to 3. What's the best, second best, third best, now that Guardians is out? Because I think Guardians has a good argument for number 2, but curious to see what all of you think. As we say all the time, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. We're out of here.
Wow.